Why are we dressed as vampires? Because data centers are the vampires of our energy and water systems. They're driving up our greenhouse gas emissions, doing huge harm to the climate, and they're putting a huge strain on Ireland's electricity grid. At a time when climate scientists have told us we can't afford to build any new fossil fuel infrastructure in order to avoid a global climate catastrophe, the Irish government has been building new gas-burning power stations. All of this is to meet our growing electricity demand. Is this coming from householders? No, in fact, households have been reducing their electricity consumption, and at the same time, data centers owned by Amazon and other companies increased their electricity consumption in that 1 year by 31%. Data centers in Ireland now consume, according to the CSO, in 2022, 18% of Ireland's metered electricity and growing. But in order to greenwash their operations, they are buying up quite a lot of renewables. It will only ever be a fraction of what they use. And it means there's less renewable energy for everybody else. The sectors of society that should be prioritized for decarbonisation, like homes and schools. Just one example from Meta, the owner of Facebook, last month announced a deal to buy all of the output from 2 solar farms in Meath and Wexford. Those together represent 74% of all the solar farm output in Ireland. They're all going to be powering Meta data centres, and there are many more examples. I'm just going to read out a statement from an organisation in South Africa that is campaigning against an Amazon operation there.
Save Our Sacred Lands is a campaign fighting against Amazon for taking over a precious sacred site of deep spiritual significance for Indigenous Ko and San people in southern Africa, in order to build its enormous and imposing African headquarters. The site is a sensitive floodplain and home to endangered plant and animal species. Ko and San people live by a code that respects and cherishes nature, and we do not regard our rivers as objects, but as living beings with fundamental rights. Amazon is killing our river. The site that Amazon has seized also holds deep historical and ancestral significance, as it was the location for the first battle against European colonizers in 1510, where the Ko bravely defeated Portuguese General Francisco de Almeida, and where Dutch colonial forces stole land and cattle from the indigenous Ko people in 1657, leading to centuries of colonial wars of dispossession. While the Gurian tribe, alongside 22 other San and Ko groups and allies, are resisting this assault, Amazon and the wealthy developers are waging a malicious campaign to undermine our struggle, orchestrating legal attacks alongside smears and disinformation. So this is very familiar to what's happened on this land and has been happening all around the world. Amazon's crimes do not end there. It plays a substantial role in intelligence services in Israel, the USA and the UK. It hosted the Pegasus surveillance system, a tool that has been used to invade the privacy of both social justice activists and heads of state. AWS and Google jointly host the cloud computing of the Israeli Defense Forces, making it complicit in war crimes and genocide against the people of Palestine. Our campaign is therefore not surprised at Amazon and the other tech giants' alarming onslaught on environmental justice in Ireland and their attempts to greenwash their atrocities. These corporations are extractive in nature. They extract the data of human beings, including personal and private information, for profit, all the while extracting enormous quantities of energy from Ireland's energy grid, as ordinary people in the country are increasingly energy starved. The attempts of these giant techs to greenwash their crimes against humanity and the environment are pitiful and deeply dishonest. We stand firmly with environmental and social justice activists in Ireland as they face up to the greedy, soulless, yet powerful data mining entities. You are standing up to those who wish to shape the world to serve themselves at the cost of the environment, human rights, and the future our children can all prosper in and enjoy together. Our most heartfelt solidarity goes out to you in your struggle for justice. Issued by Save Our Sacred Lands. Thank you.
No, 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 no data. No, no data. No, no data centers. Amazon, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Amazon, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
Amazon have just gotten permission for 3 data centers which will take up 6.5% of our electricity. They are allowed to build backup power stations, gas-fired power stations, and they're allowed to trade their emissions outside of our national emissions quotas. Like, this is climate austerity for the ordinary people, and you know, these guys get scot-free. So that's injustice, you know. So we need to stop this. We need to put a limit on this growth of data centers.